So here are the reasons why you're not getting to private equity and what you can do to fix it. I'm Stefan, co-founder of Break Into PE. I started my career in investment banking at Morgan Stanley, and after less than a year, I transitioned to HG Capital, one of Europe's leading private equity firms. Let's break down the points step by step. Number one, you may not get interviews. This is a big problem that we see with candidates that come to us. They are struggling to get invited to interviews. You need to know exactly how the industry works in order to land interviews. First of all, understand that headhunters are the typical gatekeepers. Most of the interview processes, especially for the larger private equity firms, are done via headhunters. Understanding who the headhunters are, how to get in touch with them, and how to position yourself is critical. Number two, it's how to get in touch with people from the private equity firms. And number three is don't waste time with LinkedIn generic applications. Nobody really sees those, and it's just a waste of time. So if in the first camp you're not getting interviews, make sure that you understand the strength of your profile and how to get in touch. Typically, it's understanding that you need to get in touch via headhunters. So if you're not in touch with them, make sure you get in touch. We can help you with that as well. Number two is you may get invited to interviews, but you're not getting past the first round. We had a candidate who were helping get into private equity, and he was working at one of the top investment banks in London. He was invited to processes, but when he reached out to us, his challenge was that he didn't get past the first round. The problem typically there is you don't have a strong USP and your communication skills may be lacking. This is something that we can also support you with. There are certain recommendations like the 3-second rule, the affirmative questions, etc., etc. But again, understand where you are. So if you get interviews, but you don't get past the first round, it's typically in communicating well your USP. And number two is that your communication may not be investor adequate. Third element is, let's say you get past the first round and you regularly go beyond the first couple of rounds, but you're not getting to the final round. What is the challenge there? This is the one where it comes most to the content and a deep understanding of finance, investor mindset, and more. Because here you're beyond the initial interviews, which are more motivational and which is more about the qualitative side. Here it comes really about your problem-solving skills applied in an investment environment. So here, it's really about having a deep understanding of corporate finance and accounting, as well as understand how to solve investment case studies. Again, this is something we've helped many candidates in the past, and that's why we are able to place candidates at funds like Blackstone, Carlyle, EQT, and many others. This is really one of the key building blocks, and this is something that many candidates get wrong. The last point is how to convert final rounds to offers. We've seen many candidates who come to us who get to the final round, but they're not able to get offers. What's the reason for that? They've been top of the class at university, they were working at Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, McKinsey, BCG, etc. And they're advancing in interviews, but they're not able to land the offer. Here, most likely, you have the right communication skills, you have the right problem solving and investment framework skills, but the problem that you have is that you don't have momentum. In order to land an offer, what you need is you need to create momentum. And that's why it's important that you're not just interviewing with one fund, but typically with 2 or ideally 3 funds in parallel. And for these 2-3 funds, you should also go to the advanced/final round. Sometimes you may interview with more than 3 funds. It may be 4 or 5, and you will see that with 2 or 3, it will go better. There's always a chance that maybe 1 fund or 2 funds don't work. With our methods and with the right preparation, we see that people typically advance to the final rounds with most of the funds because there's a clear system, assuming you have the right background as well. If you're now working in sales and want to break into private equity as an investment professional, it may be unlikely. But if you have already the right background, working at one of the strong investment banks, at one of the strong consultant firms, then, and plus on top, you have the right other credentials, you have a good shot. So we say, if you get invited to interviews, you already have the right profile on paper. And so again, we need to make sure that you not only get invited to interviews, but that you master all of the interviews and then in the end, land offers. And for us, success is when you land not just one offer, but multiple offers where we can then also help you decide which offer you should choose and why. So this is why we created Break Into PE. We have seen that nobody else was helping candidates in the European market. Me, myself, and all of the coaches and the partners at Break Into PE are former and current private equity professionals at Europe's leading funds. And we came together to really demystify the European private equity landscape to help candidates just like you who want to break into the industry. If you're interested, go to breakintope.com and start your free assessment today and learn how we can help you. I'm looking forward to that.